Liverpool fans, big news from Anfield today. Ryan Gravenberch has signed a new long-term deal, Hugo Ekitike impresses in the tunnel, and Rio Ngumoha is stealing the spotlight. Stay tuned as we break down all the latest updates. But first, hit that subscribe button for your daily Liverpool news. Ryan Gravenberch pulls no punches on Liverpool season as he makes contract decision. Liverpool midfielder Ryan Gravenberch was a revelation last year as the Reds won the title in Arne Slot's first season, and the Netherlands star has now signed a new deal. Ryan Gravenberch has his sights set on delivering many more trophies for Liverpool fans, following confirmation that the midfielder has put pen to paper on a new long-term contract. The Netherlands international 23 was a revelation in a deeper lying role last year as the Reds romped to the Premier League title in Arne Slot's maiden campaign. And after starting all but 2 of Liverpool's league games this term, Gravenberch has been rewarded with a new contract which will keep him at Anfield until 2032. Speaking after the news was announced, Gravenberch admits Liverpool are focused on finishing the season with a flourish with their hopes of retaining the title over. "I feel really good," Gravenberch told LiverpoolFC.com. "I was really proud to extend my contract at such a big club. So I'm really happy that I can stay for many more years. I felt directly the trust from the club, also from the manager. The decision for me was easy to make. My family is also happy here. We are now here almost 3 years, so I know everything already. I'm happy that I'm here. For the short term, my aim is to end the season as good as possible, and for the long term, win many more trophies with Liverpool. I have a really nice relationship with the fans. Always when I do something good in the stadium, I hear them singing my chant. I'm really grateful for the supporters because without them, we would not be where we are now. In the future, we want to give them many more trophies, so hopefully we can get that done." Hugo Ekitike earns praise for show of character in tunnel before Liverpool game. Hugo Ekitike showed his class prior to Liverpool's meeting with Wolves in the 5th round of the FA Cup on Friday, as he interacted with the home team's mascots at Molineux. Hugo Ekitike received plaudits for his pre-game interaction with Wolves' mascots ahead of Liverpool's FA Cup win at Molineux. The French striker did not play in the FA Cup clash, but he made a big impression off the pitch as he signed autographs for a host of youngsters prior to kickoff. Ekitike received praise on social media for the gesture, with one ex-user writing, "A great gesture, not too hard really for all players to do it. It makes the youngsters day-night and creates memories." Another said, "Lots to like. Kids polite and genuinely happy to see a player, even from the other team, sign their books." Wolves allowing Ekitike to sign the books for the Wolves mascots. Ekitike taking time to sign the books for the mascots even though they are not Liverpool's. Well done all. Ekitike was afforded a rare day off against Wolves, having led the line consistently since Alexander Isak's leg break in December. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot was pleased to be able to give the Frenchman a night off as he expressed his delight at having a wider selection of players to choose from. "It's nice to have players available again, not only 12, 13, 14, Slot said, after selecting Cody Gakpo through the middle and handing Rio Ngumoha a rare start at Molineux. "I don't think I have said anything at all about that, but now we have them back, maybe I can say something. These same players constantly had to play every 3 days, and that sometimes impacts performances. As you see everywhere in Premier League sides who have to play every 3 days, you see rotation, but I was not always able. The fact these players had to play so much, a lot, and could not always bring their best performance makes sense to me then. It's good that we could rotate a little bit more with players coming back, and players who came in doing really makes it easier for me to rotate. But to impact the game off the bench, Ekitike has had a brilliant debut campaign at Liverpool. He scored 16 goals in 38 appearances in all competitions since joining the Reds from Frankfurt last summer. The France international was expected to play second fiddle to Isak, but has emerged as Liverpool's most dependable attacker this season. Arne Slot and Liverpool stars use same word to describe Rio Ngumoha as Chelsea fume clear Paul Gorst, with the talking points from Liverpool's 3-1 win over Wolves, as Ryan Ngumoha potentially gets set for a bigger share of the spotlight. asked for an appraisal on Rio Ngumoha's performance after Liverpool beat Wolves 3-1 to secure their place in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. There was a recurring theme from Arne Slot, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, that the head coach, the club captain, and his deputy all spoke of the 17-year-old being special, said it all. It's an adjective rarely dished out, but at Molineux on Friday night, Ngumoha showcased exactly why there is so much hype around him at Anfield. Potentially elite was the verdict from Liverpool scouts when they were on the cusp of bringing him in from Chelsea nearly 2 years ago, and the fact that the furious Londoners subsequently banned Reds talent spotters from attending their games revealed a lot as to how cutthroat the business of youth recruitment is. But it said a lot about Ngumoha's belief in his own ability that he moved some 200 miles north at the age of 15 in 2024. Liverpool felt it was their recent history with creating pathways to senior stardom for their best academy players that swung it for the ambitious teenager and his family. Described by one seasoned watcher of youth football as one of the very best players in Europe for his age range, Ngumoha has done nothing to date to suggest the big build that accompanied his Anfield arrival was overblown hyperbole. But if Van Dijk, Robertson, and Slot are all in agreement of Liverpool having a special talent in their midst where the precocious Ngumoha is concerned, the message from 3 Premier League winners is also as consistent. We all see what a special talent he is in terms of his 1v1s and the way he drives at players, says Van Dijk. He's a good boy, we look after him, and he's got to keep learning. Robertson, speaking after the victory on Friday, added, "Everyone has a different route, but he is a special player and a special kid. If he keeps making the right decisions and things like that, like he did tonight, he will have a special career." Slot, who has been facing growing calls to include Ngumoha more prominently in recent weeks, said, "It was special because if you're 17 years old and you can impact 2 Premier League sides facing each other, then that tells you how good of a player he is. But it is up to him to bring this every time. This should give him a lot of confidence to show this in an away game." It was no coincidence that all 3 were quick to highlight the importance of the youngster continuing to learn and develop, despite the obvious talent and the excitement his style of play brings. Football is littered with dozens of stories of players bursting onto the scene before quickly fading into obscurity. The percentage of those who go on to maximize their potential, in fact, is likely minuscule. Those who know Ngumoha speak of a lovely kid who has a strong family framework behind him that is helping him maintain the sort of attitude that is needed. There's an old YouTube clip of Ngumoha revealing his desire to win one day a Ballon d'Or and eventually come to be known as one of the best football players who ever played football. It was a remarkably lofty goal for an academy player to put on record without a senior minute behind them at the time. Such a claim can be put down to the exuberance of youth, but it does at least give a small insight into the sort of ambition Ngumoha privately harbors. It is what led him to Anfield 2 years ago, having seen Chelsea continue to invest huge sums in a procession of wingers who blocked his path. Ngumoha's decision to move to Merseyside as he prepared to turn 16 might have caused consternation at Stamford Bridge, but it was the Reds' ability to point to other players' development that allowed them to steal a march at a time when their rivals were spending tens of millions on young wingers like Kendry Páez and Estevão Willian. Since then, Chelsea have also signed Alejandro Garnacho, Pedro Neto, and Jamie Gittins for the wide areas alongside forwards João Pedro and Liam Delap to further limit opportunities for academy hopefuls. Jadon Sancho was loaned from Manchester United in the summer of 2024, and they have since sold João Felix and Noni Madueke. The disorienting level of turnover is not conducive to a young player getting a chance at first-team level in West London, and the proposal from Anfield simply proved too good to resist at the time for Ngumoha, who is guided by his older brother, James. Despite spending like a sailor on leave under Todd Boehly and Blue Co., however, Chelsea were still angry that Ngumoha was snaffled from under their noses, and last month's tribunal that ruled Liverpool will only pay a maximum of 6.8 meters for the teenager will only have added to their frustrations. He is already proving to be the one that got away for the Stamford Bridge club. Speaking after the 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest last month, Ngumoha was decidedly less bullish about his latest aims, revealing, "I just need to keep pushing and keep gaining the manager's trust, and hopefully that leads to more minutes. Hopefully, more minutes, soon." He got his wish at Molineux, featuring for 70 largely electric minutes where he tormented Wolves' backline and could have scored a couple of goals to complement his display. "I would definitely start him going forward," says former Liverpool and Chelsea winger Joe Cole. "What he gives you is powerful dribbling, that sort of asterisk that somebody is a little bit different, a little bit of a maverick." Liverpool, particularly with Mo Salah at the moment not being as explosive as he once was, they need that in the front three. What an opportunity for him. Go and stake your claim. They could really do with a young player, really emerging and forcing his way into the starting lineup. He's got so much talent, this kid. However, the true measure of this step forward will be Slot's team selection at Rams Park on Tuesday night. A trip to Galatasaray can be one of the most daunting assignments for even the most experienced professional, so the Reds boss must carefully weigh up the pros and cons of giving a player who doesn't turn 18 until August a start in such a hostile environment, on a stage as grand as a Champions League last 16 tie. Should Ngumoha get the nod, however, it will be the biggest piece of evidence yet of how much this special player has really grown. Jurgen Klopp's agent breaks silence as ex-Liverpool boss tipped for return. Jurgen Klopp is working as Red Bull's global head of football, but continues to be linked with a return to club management at Liverpool, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Jurgen Klopp's agent has insisted that the former Liverpool manager is very happy with his current role at Red Bull, and links with Real Madrid are just rumors for now. Klopp is working as Red Bull's global head of football, having left Liverpool in 2024, but continues to be connected with top jobs. The German emerged as a potential candidate for Real Madrid when they sacked Xabi Alonso in January. Real replaced Alonso with his former teammate Alvaro Arbeloa, but that hasn't put a stop to the speculation. Meanwhile, there has also been unfounded speculation that Klopp could return to Liverpool to replace Arne Slot amid a difficult campaign on Merseyside, and reports from Spain have even stated that Atletico Madrid could replace Diego Simeone, who is in the final year of his contract, with Klopp. The speculation is such that Klopp's representative, Mark Kosicka, has felt the need to go public and deny them. Jurgen Klopp is very happy with his current role at Red Bull, and what is being said about negotiations to coach Real Madrid are just rumors for now, he said in a statement to 365 Scores. Relayed by Ebola, Kosicka also specifically denied reports that Klopp could go into international management ahead of the World Cup. "There's no need to answer questions about things that are just rumors," Kosicka added. "Nobody has contacted us at this time." Klopp has spoken about how much he is enjoying his more relaxed role with Red Bull, where he oversees their multi-club structure with RB Leipzig, New York Red Bulls, and Paris FC. "I'm in a place, as a person, where I'm completely at peace with where I am. I don't want to be somewhere else," Klopp told AFP in January. "I don't get up and excited if Real Madrid are showing interest. If they would be. But it's the media. Do I want to coach again? At the moment I would say no. But I cannot say never, never, never. I don't expect to change my mind, but I don't know." Speaking to The Athletic in September, Klopp hinted that he could use his time with Red Bull as a stepping stone back into management. "I know I can coach a football team, but that doesn't mean I have to do it until my last day," he said. "I wanted to do something different. Red Bull gave me an opportunity to find a role which we have been defining together, step by step. I'm in a place as a person where I'm completely at peace with where I am. I don't want to be somewhere else. I've got to know a lot of people who I didn't know before. I've been to a lot of business meetings and learned words that I never knew before. It's been a good time. 1 year in, 5 years of experience gained." Ryan Gravenberch signs new long-term Liverpool contract as Reds secure midfielder's future. Ryan Gravenberch signs a new Liverpool contract, keeping him at Anfield until the summer of 2032. Ryan Gravenberch has signed a new Liverpool contract, keeping him at Anfield until the summer of 2032. Liverpool feel Gravenberch has developed into one of the outstanding midfielders on the continent during his near 3 years at Anfield and have rewarded the Netherlands international with fresh terms that reflect his growing importance to the club. At 23, Anfield Chiefs believe the former Bayern Munich man's best years are to come, and the club confirmed the agreement on Saturday afternoon after talks with Gravenberch's team Raiola agency progressing smoothly. "I feel really, really good," Gravenberch told LiverpoolFC.com. "I was really proud to extend my contract at such a big club, so I'm really happy that I can stay for many more years. I felt directly the trust from the club, also from the manager. The decision for me was easy to make. My family is also happy here. We are now here almost 3 years, so I know everything already. I'm happy that I'm here. For the short term, my aim is to end the season as good as possible, and for the long term, win many more trophies with Liverpool. I have a really nice relationship with the fans. Always when I do something good in the stadium, I hear them singing my chant. I'm really grateful for the supporters because without them, we would not be where we are now. In the future, we want to give them many more trophies, so hopefully we can get that done." Gravenberch was understood to have been eager to thrash out the terms of a new deal with the club he joined in August 2023, believing the best years of his career lie ahead on Merseyside, where he won the Premier League's Young Player of the Year en route to winning the title last term. The agreement is further evidence of Liverpool's desire to tie down the key operators within their playing squad as talks remain ongoing with Ibrahima Konate, who is into the final months of his deal at the age of 26, and Dominik Szoboszlai. Former Ajax youngster Gravenberch has become a mainstay of the team under Arne Slot. In Jurgen Klopp's final season in charge, the midfielder made just 12 Premier League starts before a switch to a number 6 role in the engine room under Slot saw him flourish last season as he featured in 37 of the Reds' 38 games. This term he has played 27 of 29 games, missing the opening game of the season against Bournemouth through suspension. Gravenberch joined the club in August 2023 for around 40 million and was part of a midfield rebuild that also saw Alexis Mac Allister, Szoboszlai, and Wataru Endo signed. The Reds remain in talks with Szoboszlai's representatives over a new deal. Liverpool have already decided who their Ibrahima Konate replacement is going to be. Ibrahima Konate's future has been a major topic of conversation at Anfield for some time now. At the start of the 2025-26 season, most fans were wanting to see the back of the Frenchman, but now that he's managed to improve his performances over the last month or so, opinions seem to be split. However, one thing that hasn't changed is the fact that by the time July comes around, the defender will no longer be a Liverpool player. Konate's contract is set to expire in June 2026, and even though Liverpool clearly want the centre-back to stay, other clubs such as Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid have long been linked with a move. No official confirmation has been shared about what Konate is going to do, but after the latest transfer update to emerge from Anfield, it seems like the Frenchman's future is set in stone. Joel Ordonez is likely to be Liverpool's replacement for Ibrahima Konate. The last few months have been filled with defenders getting linked with a Liverpool transfer. The Reds' defense has been the bane of their existence recently, which is why so many top-class players have been linked with moves. And now, according to a report from SportsBoom, Liverpool are willing to spend around $40 million to acquire the services of Joel Ordonez. The Ecuadorian has been linked with Arne Slot's men for as long as many can remember, but up until now, the negotiations never really felt advanced. And to put the transfer in Liverpool's favor even more, an interview with the defender from Belgian outlet GVA has just emerged, where he admits that, when he was younger, he supported Liverpool, and that playing in the Premier League would be a dream come true. Although $40 million is obviously a lot for a 21-year-old who's never played in one of Europe's top 5 leagues, it feels like it would be money well spent. Joel Ordonez joining Liverpool makes a lot of sense. Although Ordonez may not be as versatile as someone such as Nico Schlotterbeck, his talent is undeniable. For the last year or so, the Ecuadorian has been linked with some of Europe's biggest clubs, and now it finally feels like he could get his move. Ordonez is a natural center-back, but there has been occasions when he's been used as a defensive midfielder. He's been used in a four-at-the-back formation for most of his career, which means he'd fit straight into Slot's plans, and even though he's only 21, he's already got plenty of Champions League experience under his belt, which is essential for the Reds. When he's on the ball, he's always very composed, and even though he's a defender, he also has a keen eye for a pass, which sets him apart from his peers. Ordonez is also used as a right-sided center-back, so if Konate does leave, he'd be able to fill the void left by the Frenchman without having to adapt his game. These are just a few things that Ordonez's transfer would bring to the table, and, with the transfer fees that some clubs are demanding for their players at the moment, $40 million seems like a more than fair deal.